تكم أخ ها خنمس
تمشى سجان مع هنكا إم بيجاره
خأوعك
مس ها حيمة سي ناتم أبي أأق
خأعو
سسنبو
𝑋🴏𓂧𓀃
تي محرك
حتوي محرا نا.
Let's break down each sentence. We'll start with took, me, ik, how are you? The first word, took, means you, when addressing a male. To obtain the word, how, Egyptian combines the word, me, meaning like, with, ik, meaning what. The next word starts with the biliteral sign, pat. The following sign is a phonetic complement. It is silent, as its function is to remind the reader that the preceding sign contains the same consonant. The sign depicting a man is a logogram, a sign that represents an entire word. In this case, it means my and is pronounced e. The possessive article, pa-e, is a combination of the definite article and the older possessive suffix. Literally, it means my, like in Italian. The word for friend provides another example of how phonetic complements are used. As you can see, the knife, which is a biliteral sign pronounced nim, is flanked on both sides by reading aids. The man standing and holding a stick is a classifier, a silent sign that categorizes or illustrates the word it follows. In addition to appearing in the word friend, this particular classifier is also used with words like noble or courtier, as 𝑓riend friend is also found in the title Friend of His Majesty. The answer starts with 2e, I. Compare the pronoun 2e, I, with took, you. It is followed by the owl, which is both a logogram, meaning in, and a phonogram, pronounced m. The word zesh, also transliterated as zesher, is spelled with the loop of chord, which is read as shez. In other words, the word means good thing, so, together with the preposition m, it forms the adverb well or excellently. The verb said jed means to tell or talk. It is conjugated in the subjunctive, as indicated by its position at the beginning of the sentence, with the subject following it. The Egyptian subjunctive has several meanings, but in this phrase, it is best translated using the future tense. The word at, meaning room, or house, is used in other compound words, like at seba, school, literally, house of learning. Both at, house, and henket beer are feminine, as indicated by their final t. Notice how beer house literally translates as house, beer. This structure is known as the direct genitive, where the two words are simply placed next to each other without any linking word. Here are the Coptic descendants of the words we've just seen. Here's the definite article. It is masculine, as it precedes the masculine word, gera, night. The classifier of the word, night, is the sky with a scepter hanging from it. Care means what, its use is limited to the expressions used in the dialogue. It is followed by, meaning, state, to which is attached the masculine possessive, your. The sentence starts with a verb, messi, to give birth. The verb is conjugated in the perfective tense, which, in this case, can be translated as a past tense. Its structure, verb plus subject, makes it identical to the subjunctive in writing, but they sounded distinct in speech. The root, mes, is found in many names, like that of kings Ramesses and Thutmose. The possessive article, tai-e, is the feminine counterpart of pai-e, as it is followed by a feminine word, himet, wife. The word, daughter, is spelled with the duck logogram. If we remove the feminine marker, t, we obtain za, son. The duck was chosen due to the phonetic similarity of zet, meaning duck, and the words for son and daughter. The first word of the next sentence, nejim, is an adjective. In Egyptian, predicative adjectives come first. This type of structure is called adjectival clause. Ib, meaning hard, is common in idiomatic expressions related to emotions. Attached to it is the first-person singular suffix pronoun. To make it feminine, replace the man logogram with that of the woman. The word for, very, is a combination of meaning, for, and 𝑓, excellent. In Coptic, the ancient adjective, 𝓴📁, survives only as a verb. The word eb is no longer used, but it has been preserved in some compound names. Finally, 𝑓 can be spotted in the Greek transcription of a queen's name. The word 𝓴𝓄b is a verb, as it doesn't just mean healthy, but to be, or become, healthy. To shift the meaning from to become healthy to be healthy, the verb must be conjugated in the stative tense. Here's another example, this time with the verb 𝑓𝑘r, to become hungry. The first word is a later variant of 𝑘r, what, which we saw earlier. This spelling is evidence that the final r had dropped in the pronunciation. The word ket is spelled with the pot, which is usually used as a biliteral sign pronounced nu, but in this word, it is silent. Its presence is due to the fact that ket also means pot. As for the spiral, it is a common space filler, it is silent. The woman logogram is the feminine second-person singular possessive. In late Egyptian, it is visually identical to the feminine possessive of the first-person singular. The reason being that they ended up sounding the same, as the original ch sound eventually dropped. Here's the feminine version of the subject pronoun, I, which we've seen earlier in the phrase, I'm fine. It is pronounced like its masculine counterpart to only the hieroglyphs differ. It is followed by the verb, 𝑚ēr, to become ill. Can you guess the tense? You guessed right, it is the stative, just like we saw in the phrase, set, 𝓴𝓄bù, they are healthy. As you can see, the first-person singular of the stative exhibits the ending, 𝑘ui, while the third-person plural has the ending, 𝑢, or no ending at all. The stative is used one last time, at the end of the dialogue, this time in the third-person singular. Hati, hard, is a synonym of ib, which we've seen in 𝓴📁, 𝑖bieri-ker, but the two are not interchangeable in all expressions. You already know ℏ as the feminine, your. In this example, it means you, as it is attached to a preposition n, for. That's how suffix pronouns work. When they are attached to nouns, they show possession. Example, hati, my heart. When attached to a preposition, like n, it becomes an object pronoun. Example, ni, for me. Let's start by reviewing the grammar we've covered in the dialogue. Suffix pronouns are pronouns that attach to the end of a word. So far, we've seen 5 of them: e, ek, ch, n, and u. When attached to a noun, they act as possessives. When attached to a preposition, they become object pronouns. A suffix pronoun can also be the subject of a verb. As we'll see in future videos, it can also be the verb's object, depending on its tense. We've just seen that suffix pronouns can express possession. However, in late Egyptian, a second method for indicating possession appears, the possessive article. You've seen it in the dialogue. While the suffix pronoun is the only way to express possession in classical Egyptian, it is limited to a small number of words in late Egyptian. The possessive article is a combination of the definite article and a suffix pronoun. If the possessed noun is masculine, the possessive article starts with pi. If it is feminine, it starts with tai. For the plural, it's nai. As for tenses, 3 have been introduced so far: the subjunctive, the perfective, and the stative. We've encountered the subjunctive in the sentence,
𝓴📁
As you can see, it has been translated as a future tense, but it should be noted that this future is subjective, and may or may not happen. By using the subjunctive, our character expresses his wish to catch up with his friend at the beer house, or an invitation. A more literal translation would be, may we talk? The perfective tense roughly corresponds to the past tense. We've seen it in Maz tai mat, zat, my wife gave birth to a girl. As mentioned earlier, the subjunctive and the perfective look identical, and follow the same structure. Both come at the beginning of the sentence, and are followed by their subject. If the subject is a pronoun, the suffix pronoun is used. The stative indicates that an action has been completed. When used with adjective verbs, like in the dialogue, it shifts their meaning from to become to be. For example, to become healthy becomes I am healthy in the stative. Literally, I have reached the state of being healthy. The stative is the only tense that has distinct endings. So far, we've seen the first person singular, 𝑓𝑡𝑖, the third person singular masculine, 𝑢, and the third person plural, 𝑢. Here are the reconstructed vowel patterns for triliteral roots. Lastly, we've encountered the subject pronouns, 𝑡ui and 𝑡uk. This type of pronoun is called proclitic, as it comes before the verb. This pronoun is obtained by adding the suffix pronouns we've seen to the base, �tu. With the exception of the third person, which doesn't start with �tu, we've seen the third person plural in the phrase, 𝑍𝑒𝑛𝑒veu, they are healthy. Proclitic pronouns are not interchangeable with suffix pronouns. While suffix pronouns are used with tenses like the subjunctive and the perfective, proclitic pronouns appear with the stative tense, as we saw in the phrase, 𝑍𝑒𝑛𝑒veu, they are healthy. They're also used in non-verbal sentences, such as, tuk, me, ik, how are you, and, tui, am, zesh, I'm fine.